Welcome to the very first video episode of A&K Unhampered. I'm Alisha.
I'm Katie.
And I guess let's just roll right into this since this is our first video episode. Just like our first audio episode, bear with us. We have a very large learning curve. We will get there at some point, but here we go. Today we are doing petty revenge.
I love revenge.
It's all about the petty revenge today, and I've got a couple from Pro Revenge too.
Okay.
We're going to jump right into the first story here from subreddit Petty Revenge. It's posted 6 days ago. It says, "Enjoy the heat and cold." So this story is actually my wife's. Many years ago, she worked as an accountant for a local hospital system. The accounting department was shoehorned in between a couple other departments, and climate control was awful. Uncomfortably hot in the summer, cold in the winter. The boss was all, "Grow up, there's nothing that can be done about it," and forbid anyone from complaining. Finally, my wife had enough and contacted the maintenance department. They checked into it and discovered that all the thermostats in the department needed to be changed as they were all well over 30 years old. So the following week, all the thermostats were changed, except for the one in the boss's office. It was overlooked. When my wife made a list of the thermostats in their department, her boss never figured out why her office had such a lousy temperature control when the problem disappeared in the rest of the department.
Wow.
She says, "Okay, I'm making the maintenance list. It's payback time, boss man."
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, just a phone call. He could have made the same phone call, and then his thermostat would work too.
Very true.
It's got 1,500 upvotes on the story. That's amazing. Let's see. Comments. Perfect payback.
Mm-hmm.
And also, she was too stupid to notice that everyone had a new thermostat except her.
She wasn't looking at them.
Pay attention. And then there's a whole bunch of comments about people saying, "I work somewhere like this, my boss did this." This one says, "At my former employer, people started bringing in small space heaters. The company banned the heaters rather than fix the HVAC." Which, that's seriously a fire hazard.
Well, places I worked did that too.
Yeah, that's a serious fire hazard. Let's see. Yeah, and this one's just a whole bunch of, "My job did the same thing." Okay, so we have another comment. Flying Fox says, "Great job, but let's take a moment to call out her boss for being a dick. They could have done the same thing she did and had the problem solved eons ago."
Very true.
And it's true. I guess the moral of story number 1 is don't be a dick when your employees are the one that submit the maintenance orders.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll fix our stuff, but you are on your own. Okay. I'm going to give you an option between 2 stories.
Okay.
Do you want to hear Pro Revenge, the guy who quit his job thinking he had become rich? Or I exposed an affair because it was affecting my sleep?
That one. That one. Yeah, let's hear it. Come on.
Right. The story again comes from Petty Revenge. Posted, this one's a little older, it's 2 years. Says, "I exposed an affair because it was affecting my sleep." So I'll start with the understanding what I did wasn't exactly right, but I regret nothing. My upstairs neighbor has been having an affair with a married man for about 4 months now. I wouldn't care, but because it's an affair and he comes over at odd hours of the night and they have sex very loudly, I can hear a lot. And it wakes me up or prevents me from sleeping. How do I know it's an affair? He's never spent the night and his car has baby seats in it.
Ooh.
Not cool, man.
No.
Some backstory. I've had issues with my upstairs neighbor prior to this. She would throw parties on Monday nights. She gets home from work at 2 a.m. and paces her condo and has loud phone conversations. She's 40 years old, throwing parties with 20-year-olds and having affairs and living like a teenager. I tried to talk to her like a normal person about my concerns, but she doesn't care, and I've had to get the association involved to stop the parties. I hate her.
We know people like that.
I've had an upstairs neighbor like that.
Mm-hmm.
3 a.m. and she swore she could dance, and she kept waking up Damien when he was a baby, and I'm like, will you please go to bed?
They were already above us. It was 1 a.m., mind you. They knocked on our door.
Oh, like the police?
No. The party goers. They went to the wrong apartment.
Oh my God.
I said, no, it's upstairs.
If you don't hear all that racket, go that way. It says, so I decided to learn some more about this mystery man. I looked up his license plate, found an address, searched the address, found a name. Took the name and did some social media stalking and found Ann and his wife's profiles. I made a throwaway account, messaged the wife about the affair. I haven't seen him now for a few weeks, and I'm sleeping really nicely.
That's good. That's good.
The internet is forever, and it's scary how much of your personal information is actually just readily available on a website.
You don't just have to have a phone book anymore.
We go to the comments here, and it says, with my luck, his wife would have kicked him out, and he would have been at the neighbor's house the whole time.
Oh, gosh. I didn't even think about that.
That is my luck. So, the real play would have been to message the wife saying, I've been having an affair with your husband. She'll say where the info came from to him. He'll assume the upstairs neighbor's trying to blow up the marriage, and everyone will hate everyone. Problem solved.
That's another good way to do it.
There's petty people in the comments. This comment says, I'll wait for the next dude. Edit. Damn, that was a simple comment. OP responds. So hopefully the next dude will be single and come over at normal times that allow me to get my 8 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. See, she said it's been going on for over 4 months.
Yeah.
She okay, I'll deal with it. He'll go away. He wasn't going away. The neighbor, if I want to, you can just deal with it. Oh, wrong answers. No points for wrong answers.
Okay.
This one says, OP is the opposite of a homewrecker.
Very much.
Very much.
Yes.
Let's see. I love this because, 1, it was the right thing to do, and 2, I'm all for some petty revenge. Good job. Yeah, that one was fun.
It's a bonus if the petty revenge is morally right.
Can you imagine? Okay. So this is the next story. And I'm going to have you read it.
Me?
Yes. This is episode 6, and you've not read a
No, I'm not
single
complaining.
story. Do you not want to read it? It's not that long.
It's fine.
Okay, this one comes from the subreddit Pro Revenge. I'll get you a good one.
Alright. Guy quit his job thinking he became rich. This just sounds funny. Hey, new to Reddit, I thought I would post my story here. I work for a construction company and we do remodeling on homes. We have a rule here that we get to keep anything we find hidden behind the walls. That's terrifying.
Nice.
We hired this guy who really needed a worker badly, who was a total a-hole from day one. I've been working for this company for 5 years, and this guy has only been doing construction for 1 year after he got fired from his accounting job for getting a DUI.
Oh, God.
Anyways, he would always make fun of my clothes and my accent, and one day he went too far by telling my boss about my private Instagram account pics. He got on my phone. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with this dude? He got on my phone and looked through my Instagram page and showed my boss pictures of me singing weed. Little did he know that my boss is my friend from 8 years when we used to smoke together before we both quit.
Oh,
I was
no.
that backfired. I was so mad that he violated my privacy that I made a plan to fuck him over. He was the kind of guy who would always come in late and complain that trains or traffic is why he was always late. One day I overheard him saying that if he won the lottery, he would quit his job for not getting the respect he deserves.
No, you that off Jump Street. I've worked with construction workers and truck drivers. No,
It's earned.
No, you start at the bottom with a broom or taking out the trash. You don't get the respect the minute you walk onto the site. Prove you can read a tape measure.
He's
then we'll
entitled.
talk.
He is entitled. You have to earn your respect here, like we were saying. One day I bought some fake gold coins online, and I put them in a metal box I found at the antique store and waited for a chance to get it in a wall. This is great. Luckily, I did not have to wait long. The day he found the coins, it seemed like it was his best day ever. First thing he did when he opened the box, he called my boss an effing loser, and he quit immediately on the spot. Oh, okay. He said, F this place, I'm rich, LOL. Little did he know that was the best day of my life.
I bet.
After quit, boss us that he was going to fire him anyways for always showing up late. I wish I could see look on his face now look on his face when he finds out the gold coins are fake. Best $40 I ever spent in my life. I apologize for my grammar. This just happened today and my adrenaline is pumping hard. Thanks for reading. Edit, these houses are bought at auction. People don't live here, so everything is owned by the construction company. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So, that is amazing. What an epic fun.
That's hilarious.
Oh, all I see is a kid in a pirate hat with this little chest of gold coins.
I know, right?
Fuck you, I'm rich. And away they go.
That's hilarious.
That is what is in my brain. What are the comments?
Very close.
What do the comments say?
One comment said, what a fucking moron. Before I get these appraised or even think twice about why these will be here, I'd rather burn this bridge immediately. Yeah, it's
gas and a match.
Like, you don't quit a job so you have one on backup.
Gas and a match. I found gold. Yeet.
Yep. Terrible leprechaun.
Oh no. Any more comment gold?
I'm kind of like, damn, you only gave him a shoelace to work with and he still hanged himself. Bravo. Oh, and he corrects this himself. First, edit, hanged. I were an idiot. Edit too. Just Googled hanged or hung, guys. News to me too. Apparently it's supposed to be hung.
Yeah, there's some serious grammar Nazis out there.
Oh, somebody's laughing at me. I Googled hung guys and didn't see a noose anywhere.
I bet he didn't.
Oh, that's great.
Probably saw some ropes though.
Oh, that's great. Oh god. Here's a big one. Let me see.
You've got to be careful what you Google. It will not bring up what you think it's going to bring up.
I'm sure the FBI has stopped watching mine because they're terrified of everything I Google late at night when I can't sleep.
Oh my god. I got on to my son last night. Wasn't it easy to make that? And it was something from my murder shows, so I'm not going to tell you what it was. And I was like, probably and completely accidentally discovered. He looks up at me from his phone and goes, yeah, it's like super simple. It's only 2 ingredients. I'm like, please don't put shit like that in your search history.
I don't put stuff like that. I put some weird stuff.
Please?
That would have them being like, ugh. I don't want to know personally. I just want the knowledge of knowing.
That's why I try so hard to avoid Urban Dictionary. You broke me.
Sorry.
You broke me. Okay, this one is actually a little bit on the serious side. So from Pro Revenge.
Okay.
And we both have kids who play games, so you can relate to this one just as much as I can.
Oh boy.
Coming from the subreddit Pro Revenge, harass my daughter on Minecraft? You can't hide from me.
Ooh.
Somebody done poked Mama Bear. Never a good idea to poke
We'll figure out how
Mama
to
Bear.
play those games. We'll find you.
Oh, no. Okay, she says, so my daughter, who was about 8 at the time, was really into Minecraft, as most kids are these days, also desperately wanting to join the YouTube Let's Play culture. I had installed some screen recording software that would let her make videos of the games she was playing so she could later upload them onto YouTube. Innocent enough. Anyways, one day I'm minding my own business and I hear her quietly sniffling over the computer. I asked her what was wrong, but she didn't want to tell me, so I let go, but decided to keep an eye on her. A few minutes later, I discovered what was happening. Someone was harassing not only her, but also all the other kids playing on whatever server she was on. This kid, we'll call him Little Shithead, or LS, was saying shit about how he was going to rape my 8-year-old daughter. She told him how old she was, hoping he would stop. How he was going to hack her IP, steal her info, swearing profusely. Remember, this is a game for kids, etc. By this time, I had gotten fiancé involved, and she was also obviously quite upset at what little shit this kid was being.
Mm-hmm.
We realized that our daughter had been recording the entire incident, and a plan began to form.
Good.
I'm sorry if my kid was playing that. My kids love that game.
Cool.
But
plays Minecraft.
If I heard them talking like that from the other room,
yeah,
they would take a flying lesson out of that air with a crash course in landings.
You don't say that kind of stuff.
No. Kids are wild these days.
They really are.
Our parents would have had us pushing up daisies for a quarter of the nonsense these days.
We wouldn't have known anything with electricity for the next 2 years.
We're aging ourselves. says, I started by Googling Little Shit's username. There were several hits immediately, the most interesting, which involved a page where he was applying to be a mod for a server on Minecraft. Ballsy. I was able to learn a lot about this little POS. He claimed to be 15, likes hockey, used to live in Toronto but now lives in Florida, but the bombshell was easily his Skype contact info. It was literally first name dot last name. I know your name now, you little shit. So I head over to Facebook and search for the name. Nothing. On a hunch, I searched for just the last name. I'll narrow my results to only the state of Florida. Several dozen hits. I have to start combing through each one until I find what I was looking for. A middle-aged man with the same last name whose profile indicates he was born in Toronto and now lives in Florida. I found your dad, you little shit. All shouty caps.
Oh my gosh.
So I sent him a message on Facebook asking if he had a son named first name here who goes by this username Minecraft. I confirmed I had the right guy. So my wife begins telling the dad everything that little shit was saying to my daughter, and we sent him the recorded video as proof. Radio silence for a few days. Then we got the message back. Little shit had his computer taken away from him for the entire summer, and had also been lying about his age. He was only 11, I think.
Oh, wow.
His parents were fucking livid with him, and he surely hated the next few months of his life. No one fucks with my daughter. Yeah, no. The online bullshit. And that's what it is. It's bullshit. All of these... Again, we're aging ourselves. But back in our day, you had to shit talk to somebody's face.
Yes.
And you risked not ever needing a dentist again. But now they hide behind a keyboard and think that they can talk to people like this. The risk of instant consequences
prevented a lot of this nonsense. And it's just not there anymore.
No.
Natural
People don't get
consequences.
consequences for social media.
And they damn well should. If somebody walked up to you in your face and said that, are you going to sit there in a puddle, or are you going to instinctually commit a violence that we don't condone on this show? We really don't condone violence, but we were the very beginning of the millennials, which is terrifying that we're elder millennials. But I try real hard about that. That's a painful thought. I wish I hadn't thought it. Thanks for that. Hey, you know what? We are that little golden step between Gen X and the rest of the millennials, okay?
I was raised fiction.
Yeah. They
And a Gen X for you.
My dad was a boomer, my mom's Gen X, and yeah, I'm a hot mess. Let's get into the comment. Says you might also talk to your daughter about cyberbullying and show her how to ban or mute or block future shit. Yeah. And then there's somebody put in the comments, it says all kids should go through this course before playing online games. And they link to an actual online class for kids to teach them how to get away from these people, block them out of the servers, get to where they don't have to deal with this kind of abuse. That's really good. That had me.
Sources like that.
I didn't know it either. But it's got over 7,000 upvotes.
Wow.
On that comment alone. I'm actually really happy that little shit's dad was a decent guy and handled this appropriately. And I'm glad your daughter has proof you will protect her. She'll remember that. Yes, you will. Say, off. Or hunt the little shit down and make sure it doesn't happen again. You got an 11-year-old computer taken away for a summer. That's like a fair jail sentence in adult years. Indeed.
Very much. He probably didn't know what to do outside.
Somebody responds, says, I know, I'm sitting here like, holy shit, he told on him? Remind me never to piss off OP. 2,000 upvote. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna tell is still a legit thing. If you do it the right way, there are ways. There are right ways and wrong ways to tattle. But then we go right on back to kindergarten and below, where they told us that if somebody's doing something bad, it's not tattling. Yes. But we're not saying he's not touching me. And that was a poor choice of words. We're not tattling on the list stuff. No, that's what I'm saying. If it's something important or somebody's hurting you, which she was obviously hurt, she was crying. That was some pretty graphic stuff for a 7-year-old to say. And for an 8-year-old to hear. That's what I said. My kids are well aware they'll take a flying lesson with a crash course and crash landing. We don't treat people that way. We run our mouths, we swear, we give completely unsolicited opinions. But if somebody was talking to you like that, you watched me try to come across the bar with that one guy. You didn't even catch what he said. I was on the clock and getting ready to knock a motherfucker out because excuse you, we don't talk to people like that. Important. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you were ignoring him because he pissed me some. Oh. Maybe a crazy right in front of us. Yeah. He had never seen my crazy before. I'm trying to bring the crazy on like a drip, like an IV, not the Nile. Breadcrumbs, a little. We don't just open the floodgates. No, you don't just open the floodgates. You got to ease into the crazy. Here. Sometimes I want to scare people, and then I just open the floodgate and see what's left when I'm done. See if it's your love and it deserves to be here. The rest of the comments, most of them are more about the cyberbullying education, and I can't believe you told their dad. If my son is ever doing that, please tell me. Oh, absolutely. My kids love games, and if I ever catch one of them little shits, you want to know how I would absolutely blow the scores out of the water in the wrong direction, trying to play 2 PlayStations at once. Just sitting there going, you want to play this, but you can't touch it. Press still to get myself some. Oh no, I would sit there play on both of them at once. I would figure out how to get them both split screen, playing 2 different games, and just make an absolute mess of every high score they have, and make them if they treat people like that, because I'm a petty bitch myself. No. Me being petty is how my ex-husband ended up with a PlayStation. Sure. Because my glorious, beautiful son told me, you're getting us a PlayStation for Christmas. And I said, oh, am I? I bought a PlayStation. And I gift wrapped it, and I put my ex-husband's name on there. And then I played it. The way to do it. I could mean to everybody. No, don't be bossy, and don't be an internet bully. Nobody likes getting bullied. Even if it would hurt your feelings, don't do it to somebody else. And if stuff that doesn't hurt your feelings, get help. Serious. Everybody can use therapy. Everybody can use therapy. I know I need therapy. But she said I graduated and there was nothing else she could do for me. So I'm like, cool. I'm with you. My crazy has been set forth upon the world with therapist seal approval. But she's a good therapy. Therapy is amazing. Let's jump on into the next story here. This one comes from subreddit Pro Revenge. Neighbor sued me after harassing my dog for months. Lost horribly. Oh, yes. No. Tormenting the critters shall not be tolerated. No. Says about 6 or 7 months ago, my neighbor got a drone. This is already bad. I don't mind people having hobbies, but for some reason he insisted on flying like the biggest possible. He would have her in front of other people's houses and windows, trying to race cars going down the road. And worst of all, he had a habit of flying his drone inside my fenced backyard, buzzing over my dog, diving low just over my dog's head before circling around to do it again. My dog isn't small. He's about 70 pounds and a Malamute. Ooh. How did the fur missile not catch the drone? He must not have gotten quite low enough. It's
Had
the
to.
only excuse. Oh, or that the drone terrified him, and I was worried what would happen if it hit him. Okay, that's fair. Malamute. I'm thinking Malinois. No, Malamute's husky. Yeah, it's like a jumbo husky, but my brain was thinking Malinois.
Okay, I know.
The Belgian Malinois. It's like firm missile. Like, how did
Yes.
it not do that? I could see a Malamute being terrified of it. Back to the story. I asked my neighbor several times, please not fly in my yard, and explained it was scaring my dog. He basically told me to get lost and laughed in my face. When it still continued, I called the police. Unfortunately, there wasn't much they could do other than ask him to please not fly over my house or property.
But sure, it's an invasion of privacy.
Police are so useless sometimes. Do better. Backwards. Finally, in late December, it happened. My dog got tired of his shins to catch the drone right as it was diving toward him. Good boy. I give him treats. He shredded the drone. The thing was just a jumbled mess of wires and plastic. My neighbor was pissed. He stormed over to my house, swearing and threatening me, which I ignored. A week later, I got a summons to small claim court. He wanted $900 for the cost of his drone and an additional $300 for supposedly denying him access to his property. The drone that sat in my yard for a couple hours before it retrieved. Fuck that. No. He could have killed my dog. I don't have kids or a girlfriend. I just have my dog, who's my best friend for the past 7 years. That dog has moved with me 3 times, was there when I graduated college, saw me buy my first house and my first new car. I love my dog. Went to the Reddit legal advice. Got some great help from them. Turns out him suing me was the best thing that ever happened. When we got to small claim court, they basically laughed away claims that I intentionally trained my dog to attack his drone. Oh my God, reaching. It's a wild child. But little did he know I was prepared. I had dozens of photos of my yard showing it was impossible for him to accidentally fly that low to my dog. Videos of him harassing my dog in the past. And I had saved all my medical bills from taking my dog to the vet. $700 for an x-ray? Check. Not the $250 to take two. Another $250 to sedate him during. Why not? Don't want him being uncomfortable. Full dental exam with tooth cleaning and repair, $400. And then there was the cost of the anti-anxiety meds and a secondary checkup, wet food for a week in case his teeth were hurt, and just extra for good measure. In the end, the asshole ended up owing me almost $2,000. And now is being investigated by the FAA, not having a registered drone and violating several FAA regulations concerning drone flight. Too near to an airport, too close to other people, out of sight of operator, and way above the maximum altitude. Enjoy never being allowed to fly drones again. Yeah. He's been blacklisted for drones. Oh my God. FAA is the Federal Aviation Association. Yeah. If he's going high enough for them to get involved. Who the fuck with him? He's not going to be able to, like, ride planes. He's not going to be able to own anything that flies. No, he'll never be allowed to have a drone again. Mm-mm. He will never be a problem in this regard again because he done fucked up. We roll on into the comments. It says, with 7,500 upvote, he said, I'm a drone pilot and enthusiast, and people like this guy are the absolute worst for a growing industry that's generally trying to promote an image of safety, emphasis on an education. Any drone pilot who's done any amount of basic training or research will never fly close to any neighboring houses, animals, or in any antagonistic manner that endangers or harasses me. It really just takes one guy to make it look bad for everyone. Screw that guy. He got what he deserved, and I'm glad your dog did it. Mm-hmm. That was invasion of people's privacy and trespassing, technically. Yeah.
Charged with a lot more.
If the police would have been willing to get involved, could have brought that. There's a lot of people on here warning, hope he watched the neighbor now because he might try the poisoned meat thing.
I've known a couple people that actually happened.
It's so bad. Another comment reads, he sounds deranged and really dumb. What an awful human. Who buzzes a dog? So happy for your dog that he destroyed it. To him, it was just a weird flying thing coming to terrorize him. But in the end, he overcame his fear and took it down. He was probably chuffed with himself. You should give him a big steak or something. Yeah, definitely deserves treat. Definitely. Yeah, when watch your dog. The neighbor may try to hurt, kill, or poison it. You're right. I wonder what the distribution curve of douchebaggery for drone owners would be. Would it be normal? Would this guy be an outlier? Like the guy that got all those awesome drone photos of the Taj Mahal? Just on the other end of the scale? Yeah, that is actually a wonderful question. What is the distribution curve of douchebaggery? I don't know. We should look up that scale. We really, well, yes, we need more intelligence on this. He had pictures of his dog. Oh, so let's see the puppy. Him's a good boy. He's 100% good boy. Oh, yes, yes. Him's a good boy. Smiling in victory. Got it. That is him after his victory state. Yes. Good for you. Anyone fucks with my dog, that's it. I got a bunch of shitty looks at a family birthday party one year because I screamed at this sneaky little douche who kept trying to run my dog over with her Barbie Jeep. I regret nothing. I love that. Do not mess with dogs. This comment simply states, who's a good boy? Him's a good boy. It's a good boy. Oh, goodness. I may not pulled up enough stories. I might have to, do something crazy and just random it. Yeah, just go Reddit in the wild. Do we have any RP? Yeah, we do have our subreddit up and going. AK Unhampered Pod, and you have to actually spell out the word and. So we have our own subreddit up there now where you can submit your own stories, cross-post stories that you think we'd like to hear, or that you'd like to hear on the podcast. And hopefully that community picks up and we start hearing from all of you guys, because without you, this is really just two crazy bitches going. Pretty much. We only babble. We're just putting it now. Yeah, now there's just a referendum. That's terrifying in and of itself. Should sit that way. Do you want to lie to the people? I don't want to lie to the people. I want the people to be our friend. Nobody likes lying. I have another one like that. This one is from subreddit Petty Revenge. Cat ever rips me to shreds, thinking I can't understand it, but I can. Obligatory that this happened several years ago, a few months after I had moved to Chicago. I'd moved there from Romania, where I'd been living and going to school. I love Romania. People are great. Drop what you're doing and visit. Anyway, while I was there, due to my living situation, I had to learn the language fast and thoroughly. Not many people around spoke English out of the year I was at. So fast forward a few months after I arrived to Chicago, imagine my surprise when the driver of the Uber I had ordered appeared to have a Romanian name. The area had a lot of Eastern Europeans, so I guess it shouldn't have been so surprising. I was really excited to talk to him and make sure I wasn't getting rusty, maybe make a friend. Up pulls a guy. I get in. He greets me, but he appears to be on the phone with a buddy or family member. So I just sit quietly and in it. The person on the other end asks the driver if he's getting off work soon. He responds with something like the following. No, I still have a few hours left and then I'll go home. Right now I have someone in the car. God, I hate this country. The women here are so fat and ugly. Fuck you. Wow. At least this one has a nice chest. But why can't she lose some weight? And he goes on and on about all the problems with me and other American women. From American woman, to hell would you do? We don't care. No, we don't care. Straight to hell. Would you like an elevator or this is Sparta off the edge of the cliff? Both are an option. And he goes on and on about all the problems with me and other American women. Now, I've always been a bit on the chunky side. And you best believe the Romanians love to comment on it too. So I was used to it. But after that chef guy was going off like that. Anyway, I'm just sitting bemused in the back seat as we near my destination. Then I tell him in Romanian with all my might, trying to pull off the distinct accent of the region I had been living in. Can you just pull over there on the right? I swear this guy's head did an exorcist girl head move, and he turned a shade of red I've seen nowhere else in nature. He didn't say anything, just pulled over. When I got out, I said thanks and added, you're not attractive and you're also fat. But maybe you'd comments like that. I have never again reached such a level of pride.
That is amazing. I love that.
The one that I always think about this scenario is, do I want to get my nails done?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel bad for not knowing exactly what region they are from, but I know that I don't speak what they are speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And I always feel like they're talking about, and they probably are.
We have no idea what
That's what I'm afraid of. They're talking about me. I'm aware that they're talking about me. And I'm sitting here going, why are they talking about me? What did I do? It makes me very self-conscious. I don't get my nails done. Once in a blue moon, I will go get my nails done. But then I want to know what they're saying. And I ask them and they giggle. And I'm like,
them.
they're probably making fun of my man hands or something. Come on. I have man hands. There's nothing I can do about it.
Man hands. They're usually bigger than most guys.
I mean, I work on stuff. I never have fingernails. They're always broken, bitten. If anybody looked too close at my cuticles that cared about nails, they would probably cry. No, I need to open a salon. I know, but I've been sick 3 times. Really. I open like 4 or 5. But like we said in episode 1, I'm dudeish. It makes sense. Fair. Yes, I'm the one from episode 1 that dude. Not bad. Hey, you put tearing carburetors down in the sandbox as a child.
I'm just weird. I go along with anything.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that either. First comment. I live this brand of revenge. People shouldn't assume they're safe to just talk shit just because it's not in English. 3,500 upvote.
Love it.
3,500 people agree. This person has 6,500 upvote. Comment in the little yellow box. This hits home for me. I'm a middle-aged white American who looks very much like my Irish ancestors, but I'm also fluent in Spanish and Haitian Creole. That's nice. I'm a social worker, so I interview families nearly every day. And one thing I look for is a form of domestic violence called coercive control. Sometimes you'll have one partner who's fluent in English and uses that to control the other partner. And when I suspect that, I'll only speak in English and listen to what the couple says to each other while I look on pretending I don't understand. Girl, you're smart.
Good.
But then just a few minutes before I leave, I'll start speaking their language and watch their faces as they realize I understood them. This makes future much more productive.
I bet. Those are good languages to know.
That is clever.
Really?
Where we're at, I mean, you don't hear a lot of Haitian Creole.
Yes, you do. I've had to translate it a few times.
On the phone
So,
or
in person.
here?
Well,
During season?
no.
Down with the air too?
No. 20 minutes away down the highway.
That's 20 minutes away.
Still.
We live in the middle of BFE. 20 minutes away is a
Like,
whole
we have
other
spent-
ecosystem.
If we want to go anywhere worth anything, it's at least
Okay, be that the case, and it is the completely depressing
cornfield.
case. We live in the middle of a cornfield. I'm talking in our immediate location. I never go anywhere. I am a hermit.
Yeah, but if you go to the store,
Mhm.
it'd be nice. I know people. I had no idea what there's.
The grocery store is like 5 blocks
I have
away.
a grocery store. I'm a bigger store.
There's just not a lot of other language around here.
No.
No, most of it not. No. Couple of months out of the year. So like pettiness in any language.
I wish I could.
I know just enough Spanish to really get myself in trouble. Yeah. Here's another comment. There's a lot of stories in the comments on this one. This guy I shared a room with on flight from Sydney to LA worked for Toyota for 30 odd years, ending up in contract negotiations. Boss took him to Japan, was fluent in Japanese. The locals would talk amongst themselves, bagging Australian, never having answers for something. He'd prepare the boss for questions. Went on for years and never let on. Come his retirement, they threw him a party in Japan. That is awesome. Was offered an interpreter for his final speech. Nope, gave one in perfect Japanese to a very surprised audience. I bet. Nice. But did you tip him, and what did you rate him? Did he rate you 5 stars? OP responds, I think my own rating might have taken a nosedive that day. Whoops. I don't think she's sad about it. I don't think it affects the tumor. Another comment, a yellow box. Damn it, I'd be if I sitting on the dash vent while that was happening. I'd watch the scene play out, and once you were gone, I'd fart in the vent for the cab driver before flying out the window. Oh my God. Oh, some people. I once asked a receptionist in a Cairo hotel if she could get me out of the Art Blazing Museum and how much it would cost. She said £2. The guy next to her said in Arabic, now, why'd you say that? We could have easily asked for 5. I kept a straight face. Wow. Yeah, you could have, and I'm not doing it. Somebody responded that I've called him out so he didn't assume next time. Nah, let him think it. It's just great. Yeah. So we're right back to what I was talking about a little while ago about people. They're hiding behind their keyboards, or they're hiding behind a language barrier and thinking that they can just talk whatever kind of shit they want to talk with zero consequences. And it's, no, we don't do that. I think I'm going to have to supplement this episode. That has never happened before. We'll see how this one floats your boat. Oh boy, what is that? Because this is the last one that I had lined up. Okay. I didn't realize how short a couple of them were.